Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Off Limits Show. Thanks for joining me tonight on the show. It is Sunday, September 20th at 11:22 p.m., 2015. So thanks for listening to the show, wherever you're listening to me from. I appreciate it. If you are listening to the show for the first time, you can always go to offlimitshow.com and find out more about me and the show. You can also go to Twitter and Facebook at Off Limits Show, and also on iTunes, Off Limits Show, and also Gay Mash. This is the Gay Mash Show, actually, and of the Off Limits Show platform. So if you are listening for the first time, be sure to check me out in those locations. And if you have not heard my other show that I do with Christian and with Jason, called Gay XYZ Show, be sure to check us out on there as well every Tuesday at 9 p.m. Central. And we do that every Tuesday, like I said, and it includes the three of us. It's fun. You can go to gayxyz.com to find out more about that there. Also, if you haven't heard the show before, this is a show. It's just a free-form talk show where I talk about whatever's on my mind, basically, and talk about gay stuff. And so we talk about politics, sex, money, religion, civil rights, music, give advice. Sometimes we have celebrity guests occasionally, and just everyday people. So wherever you're listening to me from, I appreciate it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. There we go. Sorry. Always have an issue with this. My headphones, I need a headphone jack that works right because I have a mixer board. God damn it. Oh, you probably can hear me fine, but I'm having problems with my headphones. I think that worked. Anyway, tonight we're talking about Brojobs. It's one of the main topics I wanted to discuss tonight, as well as a couple other things. But I wanted to talk about this because it's been somewhat of an epidemic lately, or it's been everywhere. Everyone's talking about it in the gay community. Not everyone, but I mean in the gay world and psychology and that kind of arena. They're talking about Brojobs and what does it really mean, and what does it mean for the men who participate in this, and so forth. So what is a bro job? Well, a bro job, if you don't know, is when two heterosexually identified men will give each other oral sex, but still consider themselves straight, and do it just to help out a bro, or whatever, however you want to put it. Very kind of frat boy type of a mentality. And it's been this has been going on forever. First of all, it's nothing new, the practice of it or whatever. But the thing is that these men are absolutely swearing up and down that they're not gay, but they're giving blowjobs to other men, which typically is almost the definition of gay, right? So it's a little baffling when you have two straight men saying that they're not gay, but they're giving each other oral sex. And I guess one reason they say it's because that there's no strings attached, there's no emotion, it's just a sexual thing, and it's really just to help somebody out. Maybe their girlfriend's out of town, or they're bored, or they're drunk. Oftentimes it's because they're drunk. And there was an author who actually wrote a book about this. Her name was Jane Ward, and she wrote a book called Not Gay, Sex Between Straight White Men, which you can read about on Amazon or whatever. But it's an intriguing book. Oh, sorry. It's an intriguing book, and it's actually very informative about this topic. And it really talks about how these heterosexual men, they claim to be heterosexual. I'll talk about my opinion in a minute, but these heterosexual men will do this. They're straight identified, and they have sex with. Sometimes they have sex with other men in public bathrooms, or they'll do it with frat brothers, or football team, or sports member, people that they're on the teams with, or whatever, things like that. And they do it because it really is a way for them to reaffirm their own sexual orientation as straight. Meaning they're saying essentially, well, if I can suck a guy's dick or stick my finger up his ass or something like that, and still be straight and not really want to do it again, or not do it, because it's a sexual turn on, then that means I really am straight. And so it's a really kind of a back-asswards way for them to prove their own heterosexuality, they say, or this is what this woman's philosophy is about it. And I know when I was younger in the 20s, when I was not the 20s, when I was in my 20s, it was, on at the SMU campus, there were straight guys doing things with one another, of course. And all through time, there have been straight guys doing things with each other, and whether it's in fraternities or in sports or whatever. And I do think that there is something to the fact that there is a sense of camaraderie about it. But I think there's a big difference between, slapping someone on the ass and actually going down on them. I mean, you can have a sense of camaraderie without actually having sex with another guy. So to me, on one hand, I say it's bullshit and I say it's ridiculous to say that these guys aren't gay or at least curious or bi or something to actually do this because it is, of course, a huge step to do this. So I think that they probably are somewhere they have to have some sort of latent homosexual desire. In my opinion, I could be completely wrong. I'm not a psychologist, obviously, but I think they have to have some sort of latent sexual desire. Now, even if you're drunk and you have oral sex with another guy who's also claiming to be straight, it's still, to me, when you're drunk, that just makes you more honest and true about what your real feelings are about things. So to me, that's not really a reason to say it is, just a drunk thing or whatever, as some of them do. So I don't know. Anyway, I just think it's really stupid, the whole thing. And I think most people who do it are obviously somewhat gay, at least. And that's not to say, however, that the reverse isn't true. For example, just because a heterosexual guy has sex with another guy does not make him gay. And that's true. Just like a gay guy having sex with a female does not make him straight. Gay men have been doing that and women for millennia, being in marriages and things like that, having sex with their opposite sex partners, even though they knew they were gay and attracted to the same sex only, because of, to survive through society. So does that make them, because they have sex with someone of the opposite sex, does that make a gay person straight? No, it doesn't. And so I don't think that, I guess the opposite has to be true to some degree, at least, that a heterosexual man who has oral sex with another man, specifically heterosexual identified man, that does not necessarily make him gay. The point is, we can all have sex with whomever we want, but our sexuality is separate from that action. It's just that most people only have sex with people they want to have sex with or are attracted to, So like for me, I'm a gold star gay and I am proud to be, and I've never had sex with a woman. I've never had a desire to, and I've never wanted to, although I've had many opportunities throughout my life to do that. I never did, never will. I just have no desire to me, because I'm totally gay, like a total gay. So, and then there are people who are totally straight who would never, ever in a million years ever have sex with someone of the same sex. I mean, and because it's just not what they're into. But I think, as I've talked about before, in the Kinsey scale, 1 to 6, 1 being perfectly straight and 6 being perfectly gay, I'm a 6, and I think most people probably fall somewhere in the middle between 2 and 5. Most people are a little straight or a little gay, meaning they're a little attracted to the same or opposite sex or not. And that's the way most people are. And so these men who participate in these brojobs, as they call them, essentially are just a little to the left or the right on the Kinsey scale, in my opinion. So I don't think it's a big deal, but that people are making such a huge deal out of it. Unfortunately, people seem to think it's an enormous deal. But I think the problem in our society is, because it's so patriarchal, men have very rarely, especially in the United States, ever really been able to express their sexual desires or sexual curiosity in the way that women can. For example, women all the time have reported, heterosexually identified women, reported to have had sexual encounters with the same sex when they were in college or whatever, but they still consider themselves heterosexual, and they end up having lives with someone of the opposite sex and all that stuff. But so that doesn't make them gay. It just was something they experimented with and they wanted to try. So it doesn't. So I think this is the same thing. It's for guys, it's never been that easy, and girls, it's always been acceptable, but for men, it hasn't. And so now I think society is shifting a bit in terms of our culture and how we, look at sex, heterosexuals and gays and homosexual sex, I think it is moving in the right direction. And so, even though it does irk me and annoy me to some degree that these guys go around and still suck each other's dicks and still say they're straight, I think, at least half of them are probably repressed homosexuals. The other half probably are actually straight and do this for whatever reasons that I mentioned earlier. And so you can't say it's okay for one set of people to do it and not be labeled and another set not to. So, if that's what they want to say, so be it. But I understand that, it's hard to be a straight guy in society today, and be sexually curious. It's just like completely unacceptable for a man to be curious about same sex. And even if he's not gay, I think that's wrong. I think we should change that in society, but that is the way it is. So, and I think, it is true sometimes, of course, there are straight guys who, quote unquote, straight guys who are truly, truly just painfully repressed. And, if you ask a woman and her husband, for example, were going around giving blowjobs to other heterosexually identified men, I don't think she'd be okay.